superstar. He is an absolute superstar, Tom Mitchell. Cripps at the back. Cripps is too good. Neil, yes! Oh, how good was that?
Right, we've got someone here today who I reckon's been on Media Street more than any other person I've seen in the headlines the last couple of months. Harley Reid, potential number one pick. We've been chatting about doing a pod for a little while.
Yeah, we have.
Throughout the year, you're obviously quite flat out and have had a lot on your plate. You actually played a bit of Essendon VFL, I saw as well. Remember when we were texting, you sent a selfie in the Essendon kit?
Yeah, that's right, with Flipper.
Yeah, that's right.
With T-Flips, that was good. Good value Flipper, so yes.
Bit of a different cat, but we love Flip. He's actually helped out with a few Ball Magnets pods. But, mate, how are you feeling? Because it's getting quite close. I think it's about 2-3 weeks now until draft night.
Yeah.
And you're probably getting asked about it every single day and sick of it, but...
Yeah, no, obviously excited as every other draftee would be. But again, I don't know, it's just pretty surreal, to be honest. Like, doesn't really feel real. Just trying to soak up the moment and, just keep enjoying my life at the moment back home.
Yeah. So obviously, regardless of where you go and what happens, you'll be leaving home because you're a country boy. So it's going to be an adjustment either way. So what are you doing with these last few weeks? Obviously, the stock standard things with, spending time with your close family and friends. But have you been given a training program to follow from anyone in particular?
Yeah. So I'm head off to Darwin next week for a bit of a holiday and reset over there. And at the moment, I'm just kind of got a training plan put together with my uncle that I'm doing weekly at the moment, and then I've got a mate that started his own business, which is landscaping. So shout out to his business,
Lawnscape. Give him a shout out. What are they called?
It's called Lawnscape.
Lawnscape.
Yeah. So he does a good job there.
Down in Bendigo.
No, in Kyabram.
Kyabram, yeah, cool.
Yeah. So it's Jimmy Ross. So he's a good man. You know Khan. Vocal.
No, should I know that is?
I think so. He said he reckons he's close with you. So it's helping him out, which gets me away from all the footy stuff.
Yeah,
so it's
good.
good, just enjoing that.
Mate, good to see the humility of getting your hands dirty in the landscape.
Yeah, exactly. You've got a good sock tan going at the moment
that's
too.
elite.
So
And the shaved pins doing plenty.
Exactly.
Mate, it's important to trim up, especially when you get the leg tape. You need you can't be ripping hairs off. And so, mate, talk to me a little bit about like your journey, because I feel like you've just skyrocketed onto the scene this year. Have you always, because like I can openly say, I had a dad that played footy and it was always a dream, and I always had this inner belief and confidence that I thought it would happen. Was that the same for you as a kid? Like you believed that was going to be where your career would head?
Yes and no. Like obviously with you, would have been sick having your old boy go through that system, and always look up to that too. But I don't know, footy's always been a part of me, and I've kind of never really thought too far out of footy really. Like every weekend, every week, it's always footy. And here I am today, still leaning back on that. So yeah.
And what about other sports? Were you basketball, cricket, aths or anything like that?
Yeah, I did. I played a bit of cricket actually. Played the other week, but the Sunday when I pulled up, it was not again for me. But it wasn't too bad. Took a 4 far, so I was happy with that. 4 wickets,
bowling heat or a bit of spin?
Yeah, it was a bit of smoke.
Yeah, a bit of smoke.
Long run up. Felt it Sunday morning, but so I was a bit flat about that.
Yeah, that's great.
I played a bit of tennis too. Played tennis growing up, and that's about it. Those. I played a bit of domestic basketball too. Just a bit of fun with a couple of mates. Nothing too serious with basketball.
Footy's always been number one then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And for those that haven't seen you play, I've obviously seen your highlights. I'm sure a lot of people would have. I don't want to pump me up too much because I'll put any pressure on you. But you're that type of player that I see, an explosive, damaging, score involvement type player. Obviously, these guys are stars of the game, but your Petrarca types, your Dustin Martins, Bonzapelli Fifes, like you've got those attributes. Are they some of the guys that you look at? Like who have you tried to model your game on, and who do you like watching?
Yeah. Like obviously Fife then when you said that, like a couple of years back, he was someone that I was just like I want to be like him.
You're a man crush?
Yeah.
Like, you got the same similar hair
as
well.
Yes. Just like the way he goes about it, like his contest, like loves to take a hanger. Like I love that.
Yeah.
Even just like the explosiveness, kind of what you talked about. But again, I'm a Geelong man, so Paddy Dangerfield.
Yeah, good one.
Always love watching Gary Ablett too.
He was my favourite player growing up.
Really?
Yeah,
bang.
Loved him.
Yeah, so and obviously Tom Mitchell,
Yeah, he goes right, that guy, doesn't he? Oh, yeah, he's good.
But about it's about really all. Just
Yeah.
kind of watch them closely at times, but yeah.
So, have you ever met Gary Ablett or Danger? Like, when
Yeah,
you get
I've
to
met
meet
Danger. Yeah.
when you get to meet your hero.
Yeah,
So I actually
yeah.
was fortunate enough when I was probably a little bit older than you that I went on this trip to the States and met. So Gary Ablett was on the trip. It was a basketball trip. The same trip we met Steph Curry, Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
I'm obviously huge in playing NBA and American sport, and Gary Ablett came on the trip, and I remember he came on a different flight and he had jet lag. So he must have landed at like 3 or 4 a.m. But we made a WhatsApp group and he texted the group saying, "Hey guys, does anyone want to do some training?" I'm sure you're all in bed. And I saw the message pop up and it was 3 a.m. I'm like, I can't pass out a session with my favourite player of all time. So I got up middle of the night, did a tradie session with him, and he's just an all-time legend. But mate, that Geelong team, we were actually just doing a pod with Jack Crisp before as well.
Yeah.
That era, that team was so good.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Like almost best ever. Like,
Yeah. No, it was special, eh?
So when you got like
Great group.
Bartel,
Yeah.
Corey, Enright, Ling, Ablett, was that your sort of generation?
Yeah, so I would have said,
Yeah.
Kind of watched closely through that. But again, obviously, last year was when they Geelong, Sydney. I was at the game, so that was...
Oh, you went to the game?
Yeah, so that was a great experience. And there wasn't really any nerves after half time, so I really enjoyed to sit back and watch
I was
that.
at the game as well. That was party mode pretty early, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah, sure was.
And what about, so outside of footy, like you mentioned the landscaping, but I'll talk to us a little bit as well, the jiu-jitsu training you're doing too, because I've dipped my toes in that as well. But you're obviously doing quite a bit of boxing and jiu-jitsu on the side to help with the footy.
Yeah, obviously, as I've seen with your stuff with Max Viney, I was kind of more that tackling, that technique, and just little different things that I can change into my game and bring into my game. Really, it's just like, as you would know, like small little things so different in it.
Oh
like
yeah,
they
add up.
It's really interesting. And then obviously, like last night I did a session with like MMA gloves and that. So
You go on the
just
UFC post
yeah,
footy or
go and
something?
just
Throwing
so,
hands.
yeah, basically. And then so no, it's good.
Yeah.
It's just good for technique and all that too. So
Do you do it on the soft mats?
yeah.
That's
No,
why I
good
like it,
setup,
because like there's only obviously so much training your body can handle throughout a week, and you would have figured this out, and you'll learn more about it as you go on your footy journey. But to be able to find other ways that you can still get better with less load through your body, whether it be yoga or jiu-jitsu or something like that, it's cool that you're already exploring that at your, are you 18 or 19?
Yeah, 18.
When's your 19th?
April next year.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
And Pilates too. I've been doing a bit of that. Didn't think I'd get
You've
into
done
that.
the triple threat. Yeah,
so
I used to have the perception that Pilates was sort of like a feminine thing. And same with yoga.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I
now,
totally
like,
agree.
I would say majority of our lists do it.
Yeah.
And you feel the benefits of it after, don't you? Like how good you feel.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
And what about today? So I was at the Pies facility doing a running session with Jack Crisp, and I saw this bloke with a hoodie walking over saying, "G'day, Tom."
You were like,
and I thought, who the hell is this bloke? Like, I didn't recognise you with the hoodie on.
No, you did.
Who's this bloke? And then I went over and was like, "Oh, Harley, bloody hell." But yeah, mate, we'd love to have you at the Pies. So if you can somehow slip to pick, I don't know what pick we got first, 19 or something, which is not going to happen. But
funny story, actually, I've never met with the Pies throughout my whole footy journey.
Is that right?
Yep, never had an interview with them.
Are they one of the clubs that you haven't? How many?
Yeah, the only one.
Only one?
Yeah, only one.
Well, maybe we're just playing hard to get. Who would you say you've met with the most?
Oh, I don't know. Probably like West Coast, the North, like Melbourne. They've all probably been pretty equal.
Yeah.
And Hawks, like they've been pretty equal. But yeah, like it's obviously a cool process. You go through it all, and quite interesting at times. You get different questions, but obviously. They've been every interview I've had. I've listened to a few other draftees, and some questions they got. I'm lucky I never got those ones. But
so you always hear a few
been
funny.
pretty
What's the best
crazy.
story you've heard in terms of funniest question? Whether it be with one of your mates this year or this draft class?
One of them, like a few of them got peppered by a few.
Did
I'm
they?
like, oh shit, like yeah. The worst one I haven't really had any bad ones, which I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
But there was one where I got say your like whole footy journey and life in a book, and like tell us what each chapter's about.
Yeah.
Like, mate, I can't even. I've never read a book in my life.
Well,
What's a chapter?
Yeah. What's a chapter? What'd you say? Did you have any good answers in there? Did you name a few chapters?
Kind of just said probably like family, friends, like each chapter. And obviously
Chapter
like,
3, Rockstar, pick one.
Yeah, I know.
It is pretty. I love hearing those stories. I remember when I was going through the system, and because I was in quite a unique situation with, the father-son rule and things like that. So I met with 2 teams.
Yeah, tell us a bit about that. Was that like?
Yeah, so
your dad played for how many clubs?
So Dad played at Sydney, Carlton, Collingwood. So played most of his footy at the Swans. And I think you have to play 100 games to be father-son.
Yeah.
And obviously that was the year that the Giants were coming into the league. Yeah. So the Giants had pick 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9. Like they were loaded up.
Yeah.
And I think Swans had pick 21. And the only 2 teams I met with were Sydney and Giants. And I don't think I've ever told this story publicly, but so I had the choice of either nominating father-son, which I did do in the end, or nominating for the draft, where the Giants would have had to take me pick 1 because you have to nominate with your first pick. And I remember I was living in WA at the time, went to school at Hale over there, and I was 16 and had these 2 contracts on the table, and I was like, "What? This is bizarre. How am I in this position?" And you would have experienced this similar sort of thing, and your dream coming to reality. And I remember looking at these contracts, and the Giants one in particular, where your first 2 years are set. I know it was when I was coming through, like your first 2 years of your contract. It's a base and then a certain amount per game, and then you can go into your negotiated contract. Is that similar how it works?
Yeah,
now?
I think so. And then they bring that 3 year in this year, I think. So
it might have slightly changed.
I'm not sure if it rolls over like that. But
anyway, I remember looking at the contract from the Giants, and obviously they may have had some extra packages and assistance to try and keep players, but the number for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th year was ridiculous. Like it was not worth that. Like it wasn't quite $1 million, but it was getting up there, and it would have been probably the most money I would have ever earned in my career.
In
but
your third, like 20, early.
A young kid, it's just bizarre. But I turned down a significant amount to go to the Swans.
Saver?
What's that?
Good saver, or
I would say so, because I turned that down and went for probably more than half less to go to a different club. Just like I could only imagine how do you deal with the pressure? Because that was a factor, to be honest, with me, is that if I went that early pick, just everything that would come with that, and maybe you get more games at a inexperienced club, but I feel like it would be, and it is going to be something that you're going to have to carry with you.
Yeah. Obviously, that would put a bit of pressure on you too, going through your draft. Obviously, with your dad going through the
a little bit,
process too.
Not too bad.
Yeah. With me, I'm a pretty cruisy, laid back type of guy, but I feel like having the balance with home and coming up here is probably what kept me so grounded and kept me probably so more not really think about it too much.
Yep.
I feel like I got a great support network back home and a great group of friends around me where I kind of can just relax and just soak it all in. Really, it doesn't. I don't know. Footy's when I'm back home, it's footy's I'm just gonna enjoy what I'm doing at the moment. But again, I'm just trying to enjoy the ride, meet new people, and obviously you go through the process and you obviously meet people that have been through the system too and learn different things, which I find so interesting, and the experience you have will be different to mine, and obviously it floats in different areas, but again, it's just huge to experience that and get more acknowledgement off you guys, so it's good.
One thing I've noticed, I know I've only known you for a short period of time, it's been good to sort of chat back and forth throughout the year, but I love the ability you have to sort of just be able to have a laugh and just have a good time, and I hope that I feel like your natural character, that's who you'll be throughout your footy career, and always being able to see the lighter side of things, because footy, and you would have been faced a lot of stress this year, but I feel like you've got a great sense of humour, and I don't know any of your mates, but I assume would say the same thing about you.
That way.
Well, have you got some shit gags up your sleeve as well?
No, they're good people. No, exactly.
Yeah.
That's good. So
And what about this little? I'm just looking at your hand. What's that little bit of ink there? What's this?
It's a boat.
It's a boat. A little boat tattoo.
Yeah. So
give us the story.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I got 3 mates. So 3 of me mates.
Yeah.
I just got the boat. One got the fishing rod, and then the other one got the fish. So fishing rod, and I got the boat.
So who got first pick?
I don't know. We just went around, but I went last, obviously, because really hurt on the finger.
Yeah.
So
I've never had a tattoo, so.
Oh really?
No.
Yeah. So it hurt on the finger.
Any other ones?
No.
No.
So that's the only one I've got.
So I'm feeling a bit of pressure at the moment, because obviously all the boys are getting premiership tattoos, and I don't not like that. I just don't want to get one myself.
Yeah, yeah.
But a bit of peer pressure, like, you know, Jamie Elliott's teed up the whole team to go to this tattoo parlor and get one. I'm like, oh yeah, it'll be sick. But
Yeah,
like
I
I
reckon
segue, I'm like, I don't want to get a tattoo.
Yeah.
But
Not a fan of them or what?
I don't know. I just like, what's the old saying? Don't put a bumper sticker on a Ferrari. Nah.
That's not bad.
nah. I just, yeah, I don't mind the look of them, but I feel like I've got that really white, pasty skin as well. So I feel like it just wouldn't suit me.
You got to get the flag tattoo.
You reckon?
Yeah, 100%.
I'll think about it. I saw Bobby
Or
Hill.
somewhere where you can't like see it.
Yeah, maybe
like
I'll do that.
But I reckon you got
Or
to.
maybe just like Pius 2023
Yeah.
across here.
On the forehead.
Yeah, we got a lot of guys with them. Yeah, forehead, mate.
Yeah.
Bobby Hills, I think he's already had some ink done.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Bo McCreary, I saw him this morning.
Yeah.
Did you see him
Yeah,
running
I
it
seen
around the
him. Yeah,
oval?
yeah.
He's had some more ink.
Did
done.
he get more?
he
Yeah.
got some
See his
more.
arms and that, full arm sleeves.
Jamie's obviously got a fair few, but
Yeah. Yeah.
are you a tattoo guy? Like, would you?
Yeah, see, I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting one.
I feel like you're the type of guy that you just see something random and that could be you.
Yeah, you reckon?
I think
like
so.
a Benny Crocker.
Yeah, like a croc, just like get like Mario or something.
Yeah. Or Libba, just the
Yeah,
just the
Homer Simpson, yeah.
No, yeah, I don't know. But again, like they can't come off.
Yeah, well, that's it.
But I was thinking the other day, what do you reckon? Just for your, what would you think if I got long ear?
That'd be
And
pretty
like, here we
funny.
go, just like this.
I've actually never heard that.
Yeah, I was thinking it the other day.
Have you seen that? Have you stolen that from someone or
No,
not?
no.
Okay.
Kind of always thought it. Yeah, I want to.
Well, now you've given it away to everyone, so someone's going to probably
true.
beat you to
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
But yeah, what do you reckon? Do you rate it?
I
on
don't,
that?
well, I don't mind it, yeah.
No,
I think you got to be a goal kicker though, which I think you are.
Yeah.
So,
What do you reckon?
and you got to probably no, it's your body, but
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think it's pretty funny.
Yeah, right. We'll put it in the making, I reckon.
Yeah, and
See what I
so so how does the next couple of weeks look? So the draft will be hosted in, where are they hosting it this year?
Yeah, I think it's the same as last year at Marvel.
That's
yeah.
at Marvel?
Yeah, yeah. So
And the
yeah.
top 10-ish will get invited?
20, I think. I think first
Okay.
night's 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So yeah.
televised, obviously. You will obviously
Yeah.
be there on the night, but
Yeah, hope so. So
hope so, yeah.
yeah. I was gonna say, yeah. When you got drafted, what do you? Because you.
So the
nominated
draft was
father-son, so
yeah.
you
Well, the
would've-
draft was actually in Sydney, so
Oh,
they invited the top 10 or so there.
Yeah.
But knowing that I was going to go father son, I was invited to the night as well. So I still remember.
Oh, so
it
you
was-
still went to the.
I went to the
first
night we go up and get your jumper and get a photo with the coach.
Yeah.
That was in Sydney. I can't remember exactly where it was, but Marvel Stadium's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I assume you've got quite a few mates from both Metro and Country who'll be there on the
Yeah.
night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who else are you close with?
Yeah, I'm pretty close with Nick Watson.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah. He's a good character. I mean, him probably. We started our footy under 12s Vic in Darwin, so we've been pretty close from the get go. He's actually coming down to Chukamama tomorrow
Awesome.
with Nate Caddy, so we won't play up, but we'll enjoy the river, enjoy
mate, you gotta
enjoy the warm weather.
Enjoy the last few weeks as non-AFL
But
footballers.
yeah, no, exactly. We said we want to do something before we hopefully get into the system. So yeah, it'd be good to get down there and enjoy a bit of time with them. So
So
yeah,
that's really cool because I feel like you three, is it Nate?
Yeah.
So he's predicted to go quite early as well, isn't he?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I feel as though the three of you will be like, you'll go through your whole footy journeys together. It's almost like, not to
Yeah.
this level, but
Yeah.
in the NBA, it was sort of like, you know, LeBron, Carmelo, Chris Paul, Chris Bosh, like the guys from your sort of draft class,
Yeah.
you sort of have that connection with.
Yeah,
And for me,
yeah.
it was one of my good mates, Toby Green. We
Yeah.
played all our juniors together.
Yeah.
Sounds similar to you and Watto.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool that you'll have people to bounce things off. Have you
And,
spoken about that already?
Yeah, well, not really like that. I don't know. We're all pretty. Some of them are just immature. Like
Yeah.
I still don't really think too much
Yeah.
about it. But no, like it's good. I feel like we do have a tight, like good bunch too. Like we got obviously Zane Dersman too, Jed Walter.
Yeah.
Yeah, like RT Roberts. We're all pretty close, tight.
Yeah.
But again, like everyone else in there, we all get along pretty good. So yeah, it'd be good to follow each other's career, obviously, and yeah, hope they all go well.
So can you like describe, let's go through a couple of your mates, a couple of the boys you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Maybe their best attribute and who you would have liked them to in the AFL. So like say Nick Watson, for example,
Yeah.
I've seen he's like a small forward type.
Yeah.
So who does he play like and who would he,
Yeah.
what sort of player is he?
I don't know. It's interesting. Like, mate, he's like so quick.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably a game I realised, like, he's obviously like really small.
Yeah.
And you kind of probably think his height would be a factor. But we played against Port Adelaide Sample this year sometime. And like, he actually, that's probably switched it for me. I was like, yeah, like he can play at that height. Like, he was just like
Yeah.
so quick. Probably plays a bit like, I don't know, a bit like obviously Caleb Daniel, like the way he's good by foot too, off the
Yeah.
halfback. When he played halfback in that Sanford game.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah.
So he must have a elite skill level as
yeah,
well.
like he's
Both sides.
Yeah. No, he's good too. Like he's a bit like me. He's like relaxed, pretty chill, good character too. Has a bit of fun, has a laugh. Who else? Probably Caddy. Yeah. Caddy.
Is he related to any other
Josh Caddy?
brothers?
Yeah. Nephew.
Yeah.
So uncle.
Yeah.
He's like aerial contest. Like he's huge,
He
strong.
just keep forward.
Yeah. He's like, even says he lacks a bit of height. Like he just wishes he was a couple centimeters taller.
Yeah.
But again, like he's probably like a pretty agile, like a Jeremy Cameron type of guy.
Yeah, okay.
Like, can play like that. But yeah.
And last one, what about Dersma? Because I've heard a little bit about him as well.
Yeah. Dersman's like he can play across like all levels of the ground really.
Yeah.
I reckon he plays a bit different to Xavier. Like I wouldn't really say they're really similar with the attributes they bring, but Ders will probably be a bit of a I don't know, like you can play him as a good half forward.
Okay, so he's sort of like a guy that could play wing, half forward, half back, bit of a swing sort of guy.
Yeah.
Mr. Fix It.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah.
No, that's really cool. And what about like in terms of, you might not have even thought about it yet, but you know, there's the obvious things in terms of, you know, everyone wants to be a premiership player and things, but do you have goals and aspirations for your footy? Is it more around enjoyment? Is it around, you know, you want to succeed in certain things? Is it a mix? What are you thinking about at the moment?
Yeah. Obviously, probably thinking more like just obviously like it's a non-negotiable. Obviously, getting into a team, earn that respect.
Yeah.
But again, like with the position I am and obviously what it looks like I am in, I'd just love to, whatever team it is, go in and influence that club and hopefully as whoever it is, West Coast, North, whoever, just if it is West Coast or North, like influence that team to turn them around and get them back up to the top.
It's a good
Turn them
approach.
around and play finals footy because obviously watching you lads go through this year and obviously watching you closely with keeping in touch would have been like just to be in that position would have been huge and obviously you could talk about the experience playing in front of that crowd and that atmosphere would be huge and I feel I find another gear when the crowd's on, you know what I mean? Like I feel like it just like motivates me so much more.
That's cool to hear you say, you know, how big you're thinking in terms of that sort of influence because I feel like the common answer and it's only normal as a young guy would be just, you know, I just want to try get a game and things which, you know, you'll go through that experience as well, but having a vision in mind of, you know, you got to dream big and the bigger you dream, you know, the closer you're going to get to that. I like that approach that you've got. And it's not arrogance. It's a good confidence that you feel like you can go in and influence an AFL club, which you will straight away. So it's really cool to hear. Yeah,
I don't know. Like I'm obviously being from a small community, like the teams I play for, like I just play in a team where like we're all just tight as.
Yeah.
And like that relationship just like I got to a point this year when I was like just over it.
Yeah.
Like I was like getting frustrated and I was like I'm not really enjoying it at the moment. Like I was playing in
your local team or
like in like the rep footy. Like I just kind of got to a point where like everyone's just playing for themselves. Like just selfish and I was like that's not me. Like I want to play in a team where like we all play for each other. Obviously what you would have felt this year. Obviously winning a flag. Like I got to that point where I wanted to get back and play local footy, get a game in a team where we all play for each other and like the love you have for one another is the reason why you're playing really. Like you're out there to win. So to get back there and play that game was just meant so much and I'll never look back on it was a huge process to get that game in with everything I had to go through. But I'll never look back.
Which game in particular are you talking about?
I got to play a local game, senior game back at home.
So did that get ticked off by someone?
Yeah. I had to go through a lot for that, but
whoever the opposition was on that day must have been like, stuff this. Harley Reid's come back to play again. Did you win?
Yeah, we won actually, and we hadn't won in a fair while, so it was good. And
how much?
A few of my teachers played on the other team, so it was good. So.
Was there anyone that you didn't like, any teacher that you lined up?
Yeah, of course. Justin Cantwell, little shout out.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Like, you know, that you can, because I haven't heard of that. Like you see some guys, I saw it on social the other day, I think it was Oscar McInerney, and he went back and played like a local cricket game, but like to be able to go back and play, it's probably the last time you'll be able to play a local footy game, to be honest.
Guinea did that the other year.
Guinea, he did, made a ton.
Yeah, that's right. He
made a ton,
Right.
No, that's really cool.
Yeah.
What else, mate? Is there what's something that people out there might not know about Harley Reid, you know, I know that's a very broad question, but is there any little quirky, any other? You've got the boat tattoo. Is there anything else that just like if you could give a fun fact about yourself?
Probably. Just probably love get out on the river, go for a wakeboard, just relax out on the Murray River or the basin. So with mates, so it's good.
What's that race called down the Southern 80? Does that still go ahead?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Because it's quite. I've got one of my best mates who has a place down Warpilla Drive in Echuca and right on the river. Yeah. And it's obviously a huge event down there, but you hear some really sad stories of, you know, when things go wrong on the boat in terms of crashes and things.
Shocking, isn't it?
And because they're like, when you see them coming down the river, they're going full tilt.
Quick, yeah.
And like, have you ever done that sort of skiing at that, like not that speed, but you're more of a wakeboarder? But
yeah, I'm more of a wakeboarder. Skiing's like alright. Just hurts me hammies and that. Your legs get too sore. Yeah. But it's boring skiing, I reckon. But wakeboarding's a bit of fun. Like, just jump the wake. You look
like a flip kid. Oh yeah, you know those kids when you're growing up.
I can actually just flip, but I just
can do
can't
flips
land
and just like all sorts of tricks on trampolines. You look like that kid that would just like go for all sorts of tricks. I reckon.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I have to get you out on the wakeboard.
Mate, I'd be no chance. I'm literally good at handballing, and that's about it my whole life. I've got like one skill.
Good man.
Mate, that's really cool. Last few things. What about? Yeah. So do you have siblings?
Yeah. So I'm the youngest. So I've got two older sisters.
Awesome.
Yeah. So 2 years apart. So I'm 18, 20, and 22.
Are you close with them as well?
Yeah, I'm pretty close. Yeah. So yeah.
And are they? Obviously, your family would have been very supportive of this whole journey you've been on, and they're going to be there with you for, you know, your whole career. Have you had to lean on them more than you would have previously this year?
Not really. Like they've been like so good for me over the years. Like they've never been like hard on me. Like they're just probably what I needed really for what I've gone through. Yeah. So I couldn't ask for anything more or less from them. They've done a great job, and like always, Dad was known for his hangers. He was a specky man. He's got a frame at home. He was on the all-time footy legends for a mark one year. So
we'll have to get that cut up somehow.
And then
so he'd happily, you know, give up a chance of giving away a free to just potentially take a hang.
Yeah.
And I reckon you've got that in you as well.
So I've tried to beat him this year, but thought that Essendon one would have been enough, but it's not. He doesn't reckon. So
he didn't play like a ton of games for his local team.
Yeah, he played 400 and something games.
400.
Yeah.
Far out.
So he was in the GV League for a while with Tony.
Yeah.
And then they went back into the Murray League. Then they went across to the Murray League. So yeah.
Yeah, so he's a bit of a local legend.
Yeah. So yeah, he's a quiet man actually. He's real shy.
Is he?
He's opposite of me. Like,
is that right? Yeah. You're quite extroverted and he's quite introverted?
Yeah, like he's just like,
But surely he's still got the wood over you. If he wanted you to pull your head in, he'd happily tell you.
Yeah, I reckon you would.
Mate, that's awesome. Looking forward to having your name read out on draft night. Hopefully it's Collingwood, but by the sounds of it, if we're the only team that hasn't met with you, it's probably not going to happen. Would love to though. But mate, it's been great to get to know you throughout this year. What a great head on your shoulders you've got, and looking forward to watching you for the next 15 years, hopefully.
Appreciate it.
I'll come up for a wakeboard once I'm done footy. So my legs don't give way on me.
Good man. Appreciate it. Thanks for your time, bro.
Easy.
Legend. King.